Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our program, Dr. Wang's Medtalk. And today we will have another talk, another discussion with Dr. Karras about the new deals between Jiangsu Hengrui and Braveheart. The deal is very interesting, and as we know, it is at least the third big deals made by Jiangsu Hengrui this year, and yeah, comparing with the other two big deals, this deal is have some special characters or some difference. And today we invite Dr. Harris to discuss with us about the difference. Hi, Dr. Harris. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, Alex. How are you?
Thanks for your being here and
My
discuss with.
pleasure.
Okay. I The first question is about you, and how do you know about that, and what's the difference you think just the differences from the others, or we can discuss today.
Yeah, so in our last talk, we talked quite a bit about Hengrui and how interesting of a company they are in terms of their ability to innovate across different therapeutic areas, different modalities. And so I've kept my eye on for press releases, and then I saw this deal, and my first question was Braveheart. Who is Braveheart? Who's Braveheart? Who is this? This is not GSK. This is not Merck.
Refat is a new founded company. It was founded in 2024 only, and it's very new. And maybe I think it's just a setup just for the project. Yeah, because you can
Yeah,
find it's hard. It's hard. The word hard in his name, and the project in the deal is for heart disease.
yeah. I think you're right. I don't think that was accidental. And it's unclear to me, sort of the sequence of events here. But my impression, which could be wrong, was that the CEO of Braveheart may have approached these investors. It's and this is disclosed as Forbion and Orbimed, which are large, well-known investors in our space.
Oh yeah,
Um, and perhaps they agreed that they would find some drug candidate somewhere. If they like the asset, okay, form a new company
yeah.
and we'll invest in a drug candidate, we'll advance it, and we're off and running. And so again, we don't know the exact details of the order of these things, but I suspect something along those lines. And yeah, I agree with you. Braveheart is a very clever name.
Yeah, in my opinion, yeah, many newcom is just only just pick up the early stage projects, license close to IND or in phase one, and just with the aid of the investment, and they can just push them to the phase two, something like that, and then
Yeah.
sell it out. They can get a lot of the profit in this process. But for the project in phase three, I think it is not so common because it needs a lot of the money, and the risk is a little high. How do you think about that? Is this kind of the new call or investment common in the West?
Uh, you know, there was a time when it was much more common. There was a time when some people they called them blank check companies,
Okay.
where a company would be started, they would have a blank check, from investors, and the investors would say, okay, go find something, and if we all agree it looks interesting, okay, then you can fill out the check for whatever amount of capital you need, up to a certain point, obviously. Um, my impression is that they're not as common these days as they were maybe 5, 6 years ago, certainly during the bubble. So I don't think there's as common. And you're raising an interesting point, which is, what is Braveheart's strategy here? According to the press release, they presented phase one data publicly. The candidate is about to enter into phase three in China, which means that there's phase two data somewhere. The phase two data must look really, really good in order for these investors to invest. So your question is, what's Braveheart going to do with this drug candidate? Are they going to develop it and commercialize it? Are they going to outlicense it after phase three? Are they going to divest after phase three? My guess is that they're going to exit as quickly as possible. That's my guess.
Their target is just to complete the clinical trials in their territory. Yeah,
I
but
think so too. I think so too.
it raised my next question is that uh, yeah, because maybe 1 or 2 years ago the Jiangsu Hengrui licensed out one of their projects to maybe a European company, maybe I think, if I'm not make mistake.
Yeah,
But
that was Merck.
just after several months, that company licensed out that project to another company and with a much higher price. I'm not sure if Jiangsu Hengrui consider about this kind of the possibility that the same story will take place again because when a project enter the phase three, it should be have had the solid data about the efficacy and the data and the
I agree.
safety, and
Yeah,
so it is very close to achievement. So at this time, they licensed out the project to a small scale company and with at least a not very high upfront, only 30 million US dollar, and with the same
right,
amount of the share, I think the
right.
upfront is not very high. So maybe if in the future that company licenses out their project to the others, I mean, why Henry want to adventure to share their profits is very close to a big achievement with the others.
Yeah, you're right. It raises all sorts of questions. I mean, this is for the actual indication is hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What I don't know is, how big is this phase three program going to be? How much is it going to cost? How risky is it, and so forth and so on. This could be one of those situations where, and you see this sometimes in cardiovascular disease where the clinical trials can be very large and very expensive. It could be one of these situations where nobody was interested in taking the risk at this stage until there was some phase three data. And so at that point, Braveheart and their investors said, okay, we will do it. We will advance it into one phase three study, maybe two phase three studies. I don't know. And at that point, either divest it or outlicense it, which to me would also imply that there's something in the contract between Hengrui and Braveheart that says if Braveheart outlicenses it or divests it, some of those proceeds would have to go back to Hengrui for them to participate in those economics.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but again, that's just me guessing. But you're right, that seems to be an upfront payment that's relatively low for something that's going to enter into phase three, and half of it is cash, half of it is equity as well.